Comrades and friends, what's happening in Gaza today and this week is a blot on the conscience of not just the Israelis, it's a blot on the conscience of the United States, of Britain, and all free people. What's happening in Gaza today is an absolute disgrace. Now, comrades and friends, I was in Gaza in 2002, and me and my comrades from PSC walked through Khan Yunis. We walked through various areas where it was in tatters, where the Israelis had dropped bombs and had dropped their rockets, etc. And I saw the water treatment plant being destroyed. But when that bombardment was over, do you think that the people in Gaza had given up? No, they will never give up. I've been on the West Bank. I've seen Palestinians shot and killed simply because they tried to stop Israeli soldiers entering the houses. I've escorted ambulances. I've been very, very close to the death of many Palestinian people. But I tell you this, if you think for 1 minute that the Palestinian people will give up, they will never ever give up. They're a gentle people, they're a generous people. When you go there, whether it's to pick olives or whether to work with the young campaigners from all over the world, you will know that no matter come what may, it's just been 50 years of harassment, of bombing and killing by the Israelis. But do you think by now that perhaps the Palestinians will give up? They will never give up, not if it takes another 50 years, not if it takes 100 years, because they know they are right, and they will win, there's no doubt about that. Now let me tell you a little bit about Gaza. A spokesman on the television came on Newsnight, and I spoke to a person today when I was collecting money for the hospitals in Gaza, and he said, we give Gaza to the Palestinians. And he said, we give them it, and he said, what have they done with it? He said, they've done nothing. Well, what did they give the people of Gaza? Before they went, the settlers destroyed every piece of equipment, every home, everything that was done there. And they left one huge rubbish heap. And if any Palestinian went anywhere near it, they got shot by the Israeli soldiers. The water treatment plant today was damaged, so they're not going to have much water. We had an email from Gaza today, and I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you sincerely, that most of the drugs have been used up. The children's hospital is in tatters. There are Palestinians who are wounded, and there's over 1,000 wounded Palestinians, and they're in the corridors, they're in the schools. And it's a bloody desperate situation. And this country of ours bears more responsibility than anyone else. And why is that? Because of the Balfour Agreement. The Balfour Agreement, and Mr. Balfour, who's supposed to have organised it, promised the Palestinians that this historic land will be part of the new League of Nations and part of one day the world community. And they reneged on that promise, and they give it to the Zionists to create the state of Israel. And Israel is saying they want security. Well, they never have security. They will never have security. If they want security, there's certain things they must do. And first thing they must do is recognise that all the land that they've stolen and all the resources that they've stolen must be given back to the people. They must realise that the Palestinians must have their own state based on the 1967 borders. And the Israelis must realise, they must recognise the 40-odd resolutions which have condemned them for all the things that they've done. Now there will be a bucket going round in a minute. We have already sent over £1,000 to Gaza and to Mecca and to medical aid for Palestine this year. And I'm proud to be able to do that because we've collected that money on the streets of Cardiff, who stand solidly behind the Palestinian people. Today we collected, I think, over £100, which is going to go today. But if any of you got any small change in your pocket, if you've got some notes in your pocket, the bucket will be coming round. Now don't say it doesn't matter if you don't put anything in. Put in that bucket what you can, and I promise you sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, the money that you give will go very, very quickly to where it's needed for drugs and medical equipment. Now the Palestinian people will be looking to us, and all over the world. It's not just in Cardiff. All over the world, because of people like I know. Somebody said to me, we speak into converted. All right, so we're supposed to speak into converted. But because we've held rallies like this, because we've held rallies up in London, because there's rallies taking place all over Britain, all over Europe, all over the world, slowly but surely, they're going to become a pariah state. We will win. It's the way we won in South Africa, and undoubtedly it's going to be the way we win for the Palestinian people. They're not on their own. And finally, I want to say this. There undoubtedly will be a national demonstration in London next week. I've got no doubt about that at all. And it will be one of the biggest national demonstrations there was. The last time Gaza was bombed, I'm not kidding you, you should have seen the hundreds of thousands of people that marched there. The police went berserk, they beat us up. I was hospitalised because I stood with the Palestinians who threw shoes at the Israeli embassy. But I will be there next Saturday, and I sincerely hope that we'll not have one bus, two buses. I hope we'll have 10, 20 bloody buses going from Cardiff, from Newport and from Swansea to show that the Welsh people care. Palestine, the historic town of Palestine, will one day be a nation again. It can't come soon enough for me. Please come soon. Thank you, comrades and friends.